Well, no, these are all yours. These are all your cards.
Well, I didn't have that many in my hand. Where do they come from?
Yeah, I've been drawing stuff to search through your library.
Oh, I see. That's looking more promising.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Ah, what does this do? Do I do
Just
anything?
press the X. Press the X.
Ah. Okay.
You don't need to worry about that.
Okay. I'm the pet. I'm the pet. Cyrus is the teacher.
Oh,
Yay.
hey. Okay. Cool. So I'll go red. Do you want to go white? Oh, you already know white. So
I am the
this is your first
whitest.
game. This is your first game. We'll do this with open hands. So
Okay.
allow me. Oh,
Kirby's.
yeah. Don't worry about that. So
Okay. Such a
these
mouth.
are. This is the Commander Kirby.
Okay.
So
Lovely.
this has all the decks that we're going to be using.
Wow.
Shit. Wow. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Ooh.
So this is your deck.
This. Ooh. Okay.
So,
I gotta move this little keychain because I love it, but it's right exactly where my mouse is. I am white. I'm very white. I'm very Caucasian. Whoops. Oh, I could import my little Simbel model onto here. Probably.
okay. Is there a way that you can like give me permissions?
Probably.
Yeah. See if you can like give me permissions because I'm trying to delete stuff. It's not letting me.
Promote. Yes?
Okay. Cool. All right. Sweet. So, here is your deck.
Okay.
So, here are your two commanders.
Ooh. I can read them. I also get this close to the table when I have to read cards in real life.
Oh yeah. I mean, in this, it's borderline required.
Okay.
So I'm thinking.
Ooh. You can hold left alt to zoom. Ah. Oh. It's not letting me. I just use the mouse wheel.
Alright, so Arc.
Yes.
Do you see these two boxes in the middle?
Yes.
So these are two experimental decks that I have made. Which one do you want to go against? Locus of All or Super Friends?
Let's do Super Friends.
Super Friends? Okay. So this is the commander.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, Atraxa, you told me about them.
Yeah, I love Atraxa. There is the deck. And then here is a big fat stack of tokens that I need for this deck.
Okay. Oh dear.
Yeah, so there are about 34 tokens that this deck can make.
Okay.
100 cards. So, let me put everything up. Alright. So to start, go ahead and press cover over your deck, press 7 on your keys, and then just click off it.
What? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have now a bunch of cards in my hand.
Yes, you do. And then go ahead and hover over them and press show hand to all players. Hover over them, rather group them all together, right click, and then activate show hand.
Group them all together, you mean like
here? So so go down to where your hand is on the table.
Ah.
So where your nameplate is.
Okay.
Highlight all of them, like group them all together, right click, and then press show hand, reveal to all players.
Show hand.
So that's the center.
Ah.
Yeah. So now we have open hands.
Cool.
Alright. So I will say that is not a good starting hand.
Cool. I'm doing well.
Uh, but I figure out. But I'm going to explain why.
All right.
So allow me to order these. So one of the most important things in a hand you can have is a card, or these things called lands.
Okay.
These are your central source for getting anything out on the field.
Okay.
So, for instance, take this Arcane Signet. You see the 2 in the corner?
Yes.
2 in the top corner? That is the mana cost.
Okay.
So, let me do something real quick. So, this is another land. It says it enters the battlefield tapped, so when you would play it, you have it enter like this, and it cannot be used for mana when it first enters.
Okay.
So tapped land and lands that enter tapped tend to have some additional effect. So for instance, this one, when you play it, you take a person's discard, which is the graveyard, and then you remove it from the game entirely.
Okay. So can
those
we
cards no longer exist.
Okay. So can we back up like a tiny bit and kind of introduce me to the basics of what am I intending to do?
Okay. So, the main goal of the game is you reduce your opponent's life total from 40 to 0.
Okay.
That is an essential goal.
Okay.
There are some other things you don't need to worry about. There are some cards that say like X person loses the game or you win the game, but that is for the most time a rarity.
Okay. And you get cards onto the table to do that using land and mana. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, for instance, the Battlefield Forge,
Mm-hmm.
it has tap, add a colorless, or tap, add red or white, it deals 1 damage to you.
Okay.
So this is what is called referred to as a shock land.
Okay.
So you can tap it for a colorless, or you can tap it, have it deal damage to you, and get a colored mana.
Okay. And tapping, is that like...
Tapping is also, you will want to set your rotation to 90 degrees. So up in the corner where it says 15 degrees, set up to 90.
Okay.
It'll just make things easier for you.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's say you have these 2 lands out, and you have the Arcane Signet in your hand.
Okay.
What you would do is, you would tap these 2, you would gain 2 mana, and you would play the Arcane Signet.
Okay.
And then, let's say you get your next turn, you draw a card, and you have a Boros Signet. Also very good. So then, you would tap for 2, and you can play the Boros Signet.
So at the beginning of each turn, they untap, is that right?
Yes, at the beginning of each turn, everything you control untaps.
Okay.
And then, so this card, it says when you add 1 mana of any color of your commander's color identity. Basically, what that means is any color that your commanders are, which are in this case black, red, and white, you can add any one of those colors.
Okay, so either 1 white, 1 red,
or
1 black.
1 red.
Okay.
Yeah, so you would tap this, and you get any one of those colors.
Okay, and then that would help me to potentially summon any of these monsters based on the amount of mana that they need.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, also worth noting are these cards here. Allow me to do some looking around, because I can't really do the setup that I had up earlier because it was fucking around for some reason.
Hey.
So, and then we'll do you. So, these are additional types of cards that you can play. So this is a creature, very basic. You would put it on the field. When it comes out, you cannot, if there's an effect that would require it to tap, which is represented by the little like turn thing you can see on all these cards down here.
Oh, I see. Okay, the little arrow.
Yeah. So you cannot. Whenever a creature enters, it cannot do anything with that effect for the first round that is in.
Okay.
However, abilities that say like triggered abilities, which are things that are like something else happens and this reacts to it automatically, you can trigger those whenever, however you need to.
Okay.
So this is also creature, but there is considered legendary.
Okay.
Generally speaking, a good way to know that creature is legendary is it will have an actual like full name. So instead of like Angel of Glory's Rise, they will have a proper name and title.
More.
There's a special rule for legendaries that only one of them can ever exist on the board at a time.
Okay, between both however many players you have.
Well, on your battlefield, sorry.
Okay.
Your battlefield.
Right.
So if something were to create a token copy
Hello,
of
welcome. Go on.
If something were to create a token copy of legendary creature, it would kick in the legend rule, which requires that only one legendary creature exists only one legendary of a certain creature exists at a time. So you have to sacrifice until there are only one of that creature.
Okay, but that may like trigger other effects. Like you may want to sacrifice a legendary creature to activate another card effect, right?
Correct. You're catching on real fast. Good.
I played Yu-Gi-Oh. I know some things.
Yeah. Also, very worth noting. Fucking this compared to Yu-Gi-Oh, this is much simpler.
That surprises me, because
Yeah.
but then I used to play by Yu-Gi-Oh like first season TV show rules, which just like you have a monster, it's on the field now. Didn't care about tributes and things, so and like I never got into the weird stuff.
The casting progress, like the sort of like casting process and getting cards out is a little bit more complicated.
Right.
But Magic has a fun little thing called keywords, which means it's one word that describes an overall effect, which I'm pretty sure Yu-Gi-Oh does not have.
I don't know. I lost interest in Yu-Gi-Oh years and years ago.
I'm almost certain. So this is an enchantment. When you cast it, it just stays on the field.
Okay.
And then whatever it says, that is now like a permanent thing on your field until it's destroyed.
Okay.
So when you would cast this, you would get a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. So creature tokens are basically creatures that are put onto the board automatically off of effects, and then when they enter the graveyard or exile, they are basically just deleted from the game.
Right, because they're just like
they no longer exist.
Yeah.
And then whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So, for instance, say you have your commander out. You have your cat out.
Okay.
So if you were to sacrifice Alesha, I would lose a life, you would gain 1 life, and you would trigger the effect off of, you would trigger Sylvar's effects.
And this is, okay, so you could effectively have more than 40.
Yes. Okay. 40 is not the maximum, it is just a starting amount.
Okay.
This is a sorcery. You play it, you trigger the effects, and then it goes to your graveyard.
Wow.
So, this one, it says it has a variety of effects. You could choose any of them. Well, choose 2.
Yeah.
So you destroy a bunch of things. Basically, that's just all this one is. It's just it's a board wipe.
Okay.
Functionally. Do you know what a board wipe refers to?
You're basically just like taking off all of a particular thing.
Board wipe off is basically referred to as it is removing all of a certain thing from everybody's battlefield.
Whoa.
So there's damnation, which is you destroy all creatures. There's a lot of cards that will that'll delete just like all the artifacts or enchantments like this one. And then there is an instant. So this is the same as a sorcery, but you can play it at any time.
Okay.
So
can you play this during someone else's turn then?
Yes, you can play this during someone else's turn or your own.
Okay, but you can't do that with this.
Yes, this you can only play whenever you would be able to play a creature.
Okay.
Or other permanent type.
Okay.
So. Okay.
My board will be a mess.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll shuffle it all back together and then try an actual game.
Yeah, because some of these are not actually mine.
Well, no, these are all yours. These are all your cards.
Well, I didn't have that many in my hand. Where do they come from?
Yeah, I've been drawing stuff to search through your library.
Oh, I see.
And like demonstrate things.
I have so many more. Okay.
So, these 2, like I said, you play them, do the effects, and then you just put them in your graveyard. Creatures, enchantments, lands, and artifacts are what are called permanents. And that means that when you play them, they will be on the board until they are destroyed.
Okay.
Be it with creatures from combat damage or land artifacts, enchantments from somebody casting something that will destroy them.
Like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, if you were to cast Austere Command and do destroy all artifacts and enchantments, you would destroy both your Bastion of Remembrance, that, and your Arcane Signet. And you would put them all in your graveyard.
And then they go away.
Yeah. So. Now, I assume you're much more of a. Is it fair to assume that you're much more of a learn by playing?
Yes.
Okay.
Large amounts of information will empty through my ears very quickly.
Okay. So go ahead and put your hand into your graveyard and just put your graveyard back into your library. So, worth noting, we do friendly mulligans here.
How do I shuffle them?
Well, you're going to need to, first of all, you're going to need to flip your cards back over.
Oh,
And you just spam R.
Row.
And put these back, two back.
But your commanders never go in here, right?
Yes, commanders always stay in your command zone.
Right. What a satisfying noise. Anyway.
You will tap 7 and draw a new hand.
Ah! Wee!
Ooh, that is a very good hand.
Okay.
Okay, so,
how do I zoom in and look at them all?
What?
How do I zoom in and look at them all? They're very small.
If you back your camera up a bit, above your name, your cards will be right there.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So what is your, yeah, I just use, WASD, and then, I just use WASD and scroll wheel to maneuver around a table.
Okay. So I have a land.
You have
a mountain. I have two lands. So they give me white and red.
You have Orzhov Signet.
Ooh.
And you have a very, very good hand. So, I'll go ahead and I'll take my turn first, just to show you the general order of things.
Okay.
But first, I'm gonna mulligan because his hand is dog shit.
Alt to zoom in when hovering.
So, unlike a lot of
you won't let me.
Other formats of playing Magic, you draw on your first turn in this.
Yep.
So let's. Ooh.
You got some funky things.
Yeah, these are lands. These are just alt-art lands. So this is a very interesting hand because it has a good amount of lands, but due to the fact that I'm playing a 4-color deck, it is not worth keeping because it is the wrong it's all of one color. So highly worth taking it out. Also not a good hand. Jesus Christ, come on. God, please just give me some lands. This is also an issue that can occasionally come up. You were just drawing absolute garbage hands. Okay. This is better. So, first turn, draw a card.
Okay.
Play a card. And then because I do not have anything I can cast for 1 mana, you pass.
Okay. Alright, so now we're giving me...
it'll be your turn. So
okay.
You draw a card.
Ah! Just click 1.
Yeah, you can just click 1.
What?
That's another very good land.
Ooh.
So, you can only play 1 land per turn. Is another thing.
Okay, but you could have several lands.
You can have several lands in hand, but you can only play 1 land per turn unless another effect states otherwise.
Okay. As Sacred Foundry enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 life. If I don't, it enters the battlefield tapped, so I can't. If I paid 2 life, I could put it in untapped, which means I could tap it and get stuff.
Yes, but it's only worth doing that if you could immediately
play something. Okay.
Which you cannot.
Okay.
So it's worth just putting out on your first turn because it's a dual land and you get 2 colors out of it.
Okay. So like that, and then it's
Magic tapped.
okay. And I don't have that, so I can't play. That's not worth playing because that targets something.
You cannot currently play anything.
Okay. I see. So where this one says 1, that needs a
Yes.
mana of any of those type, is that correct?
So it needs a red, a white, a black, and then 1 mana of any color.
Oh, I see. So this needs a white and 2 of any color, and that just needs 2.
Yes.
Okay, I see.
And then when it says when you hover over it, it says like CMC. That is the total value of mana that you need to be able to cast it.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why it says
So
4 CMC.
You have a very good
combined mana
good
cost.
hand
Okay. Yeah.
because you have a very good hand because you have a lot of low CMC to start with. You can get stuff out early.
Okay, I see.
And then you pass.
How do I do that? End turn.
What? Okay. Oh, wait, is the fucking end turn button where?
It's at the top near the menus.
Huh.
No, I'm sorry for the calzones. They look really nice though.
I had no idea there was a fucking end turn button somewhere.
It's this guy. I've seen him in Funko Pop form.
Oh yeah, Johnny, yeah. And then I will play a planes and pass.
Okay. Yeah. Now, I guess I could.
So now you untap.
Oh.
You draw a card.
I forgot about that. 1. It is Hotline. Okay, so that's an enchantment.
Yes.
There's no. I don't have anything. I can do that yet. I don't even think I have. Beginning of your upkeep. I see. So that it's not to do with Khans and dragons as a type of card. It's just you pick an effect and
you pick an effect.
Okay, I see.
So now you play a land per turn. And because that is just a basic land, it does not enter tapped.
I do.
And now there's a card you can play.
Ooh.
You could play the Orzhov Signet.
Okay, so where do I keep track of how many mana I have?
So, generally speaking, each land only taps for 1 mana.
Okay.
So, this is 1, this is 2.
Okay.
And then you could play Orzhov Signet off of that.
But there's like a mana counter that you can like.
There is in like some of the Magic tables, but not in this one.
Okay.
But well, actually, hold on.
Coins.
You can use this.
What?
So if you want to like try and keep track of the mana you have like on lands, you can like tap it out and then that sort of thing.
But there's like 2 different types of mana.
So yeah, you currently have red and white.
Okay. 1 of each.
Oh.
Is that right? Oh, I can have that or that.
Let's do this. We'll get you.
Ooh.
And then.
I turned red. How'd you do that? Mana disappears between turns?
Yeah, and mana does not persist between turns or phases.
Oh.
So
that's why you have to keep playing lands, so you can have as many lands as possible to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is red, white, and black.
Okay.
So you currently have 1 source of white mana, well, 2 sources of white mana and 1 source of red.
If I so choose.
Yes.
Okay.
And then this is a source of white and black, but you have to pay 1 to activate it.
Okay. Right, so that will give you an extra mana if you pay a mana. Or it'll give you a mana of that type. So if I had if I didn't need a fire one, I could sacrifice that to get another white one. But I could just pick white from there, or get a black one.
Or you could tap a white and then this to get a white and a black. So you could.
Oh, I see.
Basically, You pay any 1 mana to get a white and a black in exchange.
Okay, so that's basic. This is basically like a choice if I want to have a black mana and I need it for that specific turn.
And also, like, it also just increases your general mana output since you now have essentially 3 mana.
How does this generate it though? What does it
You
say?
tap in. It says tap, add white and black.
But then it has a one
you
there.
pay
Does
1.
it pay one?
You pay. So essentially, think about it this way.
Oh, you're
If you
adding
only-
both. I see. Okay, I thought you were
Yeah.
just adding. Right, that makes sense. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that is one of that is both of them.
I see. Okay.
It will say like white or black on some of these, but that is a
Mhm.
white and a black. So yeah, you tap these two to put that on the field, and then you have nothing else you can do right now.
Okay.
And you pass.
Yes.
Okay. So I will play a swamp,
Stabby
and then
buff
I
man.
will tap for 3 to cast Teo the Shield Mage. I have hexproof, which means I cannot be a target of spells or abilities that my opponents control.
Okay.
And then Planeswalkers are another form of permanent. So what they do is they act as essentially other players on my field.
Hmm.
So these cannot attack or block, but they can be attacked.
Okay.
And so they have a loyalty score when they come in, which I should probably start getting counters for loyalty because this is going to be a right fucking mess.
Why they got smaller?
So yeah, he starts with 5 loyalty, and he has an ability that allows you to subtract 2 from his loyalty to create a white wall creature token.
Ooh. And now you gotta find it.
And now I gotta find it. Oh wait, that's right. I can just.
Look at all these chickens.
Here it is.
Ooh.
So now I have a little wall.
Oh, look at
I
that.
subtract 2 from his loyalty.
He's less loyal now after working for you for a little bit.
Yeah. And pass.
Magic capitalism. Okay, so I'll pick up another card.
Yep, draw another card. Untap.
Wow. But what do I have now?
Ooh,
Path of
that
Ancestry.
is a very good card.
Add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. When that mana is spent to cast a creature, scry. Alright, so you go down. Boop.
Enter the battlefield tapped.
Ah. You won't let me.
Press E.
E, I see.
Yeah.
I was trying to press R. I forgot R was roll dice.
In Q rotation effects.
Okay.
And you currently have 3 mana. And you have 2 cards in your hand that are CMC 3.
I do, so I could play
You can cast either one of these.
Human Cleric, let's see. Whenever frontline medic and at least 2 other creatures attack, creatures you control gain indestructible until the end of the turn. Counter.
Which means they cannot be destroyed by any effects that say destroy, and they cannot die from combat damage.
Okay. And this one, whenever Hanway Garrison attacks, put 2 red human creature tokens into the battlefield tapped and attacking. 2 other creatures attack. I do not have 2 other creatures.
But it is still worth putting out because it is a creature, and you can use it to block things.
Okay, cool. So we have creature, and then these will get tapped because they have been farmed for their mana. And I guess that's it.
Yeah. And so, yeah, on your first turn, creatures cannot... On the first turn they are on the field, creatures cannot attack or activate tap abilities.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay. And then pass, draw for turn.
It's a human soldier in my sec.
Play a swamp. And then tap for 1, 2, 3, and cast Gideon Blackblade.
Hmm.
Another Planeswalker. As long as it's my turn, he is a 4/4 human soldier creature token with indestructible. It's still a Planeswalker, and a prevent all damage to be dealt to Gideon Blackblade during my turn.
Wow.
He has 4 loyalty.
So he cannot be destroyed during your
As,
turn.
as long as it's my turn, correct.
Right.
And then pass.
So me,
Yeah.
draw a card. What do I get? Shadow Spear. Whoops, no, I had to went upside down. How did I do that? Ah.
F.
Oh, F in chat. Okay. Equipped creature gets 1/1, has trample and lifelink. Permanents your opponent's control. Lose hexproof and indestructible until end of turn.
Yeah, untap.
So this is something that is applied to a creature.
Yes. So equipment are a form of artifact that when you play them, they enter the battlefield as normal.
Mm-hmm.
But if you pay the equip cost, you can attach it to a creature and give its effects to that creature.
Okay, so would that then change the effects, say, if I gave it to this?
So essentially, it adds the effects onto them.
Okay.
So whatever the cards, they have whatever the card says and whatever the equipment says at the same time.
Okay. So, but I can now
also,
use.
Also remember, land per turn.
Yes. No, I know. I was trying to add that up. So I got 1 mana of any color in the commander's color. So 1, 2, 3, 4, essentially.
Land per turn.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Right. So now I have 5, effectively. 1, 2.
Yeah.
Right. So I could play the legendary creature because I could get a black or white. What?
You could play you could play your commanders. At least one of them.
Scary. 3, 4, 5. Can I? Yeah. Trin. Beginning of your end step. If you attacked this turn, target player put silver into their hand from their library. Oh, I see.
So I would recommend playing Trin first.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because you can swing with your frontline medic, and I cannot kill it.
Okay.
So you get free damage on something.
Okay.
So that would be. So what do you tap to cast it? Caster.
What do I tap?
Yeah. What do you what lands do you tap to caster? Because it's a CMC 4.
Bleh. So she is white, so it'd have to be 1. Whoops. 1, 2, 3. And then, oh no, it's white and then any color, so I guess it would have to be all of them.
Yeah. And then because you tapped your Path of Ancestry,
Mm-hmm.
and you cast a human, which is the creature type of your commander, you can scry 1. So you look top card of your library, and then you can choose to keep it there or put it on the bottom.
Okay, so I guess I can keep it there. Cool.
And then, so that would be your main phase.
Yep.
And now you move on to combat.
Scary. Okay.
So when you do combat, you take whatever creatures you can attack with, and you can choose to attack with them. You cannot attack with Trin currently because she does not have haste.
Okay.
And then,
and that's you can't attack in the same turn that you were summoned.
Yes, you cannot attack in the same turn that you're summoned or activate like tap abilities. Anything that would cause them to tap, they cannot do. And so you choose the creature you're going to attack with, and you tap them.
Okay.
And you say like, I'm attacking this player with this. So do you want to attack with Frontline Medic?
Sure.
Okay. So you'll be swinging at me.
Okay.
I have, and then what will you swinging at? Will you swing at me directly, or one of my Planeswalkers?
Probably a Planeswalker, maybe Teo, I don't know.
Okay. So
You have a wall,
so that
right?
is your Frontline Medic has 3 power, 3 toughness. That
Okay.
means it deals 3 damage and it can take 3 damage.
Okay.
I will block with the token Wall,
Okay.
which has 0 toughness, which is 0 power, 3 toughness.
Okay.
So your thing deals 3 damage to it. It deals no damage back. It
Okay.
kills the wall.
Cool.
And then your creature is tapped.
Okay.
And there's nothing else you can. And then your turn ends. Beginning of your end step, you attack this turn, create a 1/1 white human soldier. Here's a human soldier.
Ooh.
And then you have nothing else to do that turn, so you pass.
Okay.
Also, yeah, there is that little like plate that shows you like turn order stuff.
I'm glad that this can untap all your cards automatically, because having to do that, like, all your cards every turn would probably take quite a lot.
Yeah, the untap button's really nice. So I will play a Karn's Bastion, which is I can tap it to add a colorless mana, or I can pay 4 and tap it to proliferate.
Whoa.
And then I will tap for 3 to cast Astral Cornucopia with 1 charge counter on it.
Ooh.
So, and then I may tap it for 1 mana of any color.
Okay, so you're doing kind of the same thing that this Orzhov Signet does.
Yes. So artifacts that produce mana are referred to as mana rocks.
Okay.
Because you basically you make a rock and then it makes mana for you.
Okay.
So this charge counter, so I'm going to tap Astral Cornucopia. Because it has 1 charge counter on it, I create 1 mana, and I will name green and cast Oath of Nissa. So when Oath of Nissa enters the battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature, land, or planeswalker card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast planeswalker spells. So, I'll take these 3, flip them over. I will quit. No, stop it. Okay. So this is a planeswalker and a land and an instant.
Whoa.
So I cannot take an instant, so I will take the command tower and put it in my hand. And then take these 2. Stack them up.
And they go on the bottom.
Put them on the bottom of my library.
What? Bye-bye, Hotline.
And then I'll trigger Teo again to create another shield token. And pass.
So what happens when Teo's loyalty runs out? Does he quit?
When a planeswalker's loyalty runs out, they are moved to the graveyard.
Okay, they die. I see.
Yeah, they die.
Like Mass Effect.
Like story-wise, it's like they're leaving they are leaving you.
I see. Okay.
Because like loyalty score, but you cannot like choose to actively remove a. Well, you cannot choose to reduce a planeswalker's loyalty to below 0 from an effect.
Okay.
And also, before I end my turn, I will uptick Gideon to give my wall Vigilance, Lifelink, and Indestructible until end of turn, which will immediately end. Which you will immediately lose.
Yeah.
So I'm just ticking up his loyalty. And pass.
Oh. Okay. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands. Oh, I haven't drawn yet.
Yeah.
So
Drop
draw
turn.
1. Whoop.
There's the card you got.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This costs 1 mana more to cast for each target beyond the first.
One and a white.
1 and a white. Okay, so 2 mana effectively, and I have to play
You have to
2.
pay the white and 2 when you first cast it,
Right.
and then if you have additional targets you want to do, you would pay the strive cost as many times as you want.
Okay,
As you
that's
need
why it
to,
says
at least.
choose any number, because it's a you have 3.
I have one creature.
1 creature. Okay, yes, because that's a planeswalker.
These are planeswalkers.
Ah, so your creature is what?
So essentially, currently that card is not worth playing.
Okay.
You want to wait for when somebody has like a full board of creatures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but
However, you can also play your other commander.
let's do that. I like the kitty.
So that is 5 mana. So you will so that will be you tap everything.
I'm tapped out, so it will be whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Oh hey, yeah that's the term, tapped out.
Oh, yeah.
So now this is where the really fun part of your deck comes in.
Okay. Bear with me, I am slow.
Your deck archetype is referred to as Mardu. That is white, black, red. Generally speaking, Mardu decks tend to hit the hardest.
Okay.
Because your two, especially this one, because your 2 commanders work very well in conjunction. So read Sylvar's effect.
Okay. Sacrifice a human, put a 1/1 counter on Sylvar, it gains indestructible till the end of the turn. That's if you sacrifice a human.
Yes, so as you sacrifice a human and you give him that buff,
Right.
and then you attack with him,
Mm-hmm.
it would trigger Trent at the end of your turn, you get another token, and you can just keep looping it.
Right, because if you attack, then
It makes a token.
it makes a token which you can then sacrifice.
And you can sacrifice at your next turn and
Right.
keep going. And highly worth noting, Sylvar, he gains indestructible.
Okay.
So it can't die that turn.
Mm,
So you can just keep swinging with him and not worry about him dying.
nice.
Unless somebody has like a removal spell they play on their turn.
Okay.
But currently, Sylvar has summoning sickness, so he cannot do that.
Okay.
Currently cannot play anything else from your hand.
Okay. So why can't I play this equipment then?
Is that because 1.
Okay, I see.
Because
Right.
it's a 1 CMC.
Okay, cool. So I spent all my mana summoning Sylvar.
That's your 1. So if you want to try and attack, you can.
Okay. I would have to effectively. I'll be attacking your wall again, but I can do that, and I would get another human soldier. Correct.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Then I will do that.
So what are you attacking with?
Can you attack with both?
You can attack with as many creatures you want.
Okay, except Sylvar.
Except for Sylvar because of summoning sickness.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess I'll attack with both.
Okay. You can also attack with the soldier since he didn't come in this turn.
Sure.
So, you declare attackers.
Okay, so frontline.
So you would tap all the things you're attacking with.
E. Yeah,
okay.
tap.
And then you declare targets.
All right. So, I guess it will be. Does it really matter specifically?
What?
Does it really matter specifically?
Not currently. You could also just swing for me.
Right.
You could also target me directly.
Okay. Gideon intimidates me.
Gideon intimidates you?
Yes. He's got a big sword. I would probably try and attack him first.
Okay. So you swinging them all at me? Swinging them all at Gideon?
Yes.
Okay. I will block. Doesn't really matter which one I block. So Gideon will be taking 4 damage. 4. And then the wall will be destroyed from the we'll say just blocks Trent.
Okay.
And then, turn the combat resolves. You have nothing you can do in your second main phase, and because you attacked, you get another token.
Human. Hello,
And then
Human.
that would be pass.
Yes.
Okay. Draw for turn. I will play a command tower,
Ooh.
which I can tap for any one color of my commander's color identity. Okay.
Excuse me.
Jesus.
It's my tea. I have tea from Potbelly.
Oh, okay. So we'll do green, blue, black, white, and I'll bring out my commander, Atraxa, Praetor's Voice.
Hmm.
Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink. Begin of my end step, Proliferate.
Wow, thank you. Posture is checked.
So what this means is this creature cannot be blocked by creatures that do not have flying or reach. It does not tap when it attacks. Any damage it deals is enough to kill its blocker, and any damage it deals is returned to me as health.
Wow. I can see why people would like this card.
Yeah. And then beginning of each my end step, Proliferate. So I choose any number of counters on the field, and I put one more on there.
Okay.
And then I will trigger Gideon's +1 to give. I'll just give Atraxa. I'll just give him Vigilance. And then end of turn, I will uptick. I'll Proliferate. So I increase everything that has counters by 1.
Damn.
Yeah. And pass.